subtle dialogue or little subtle words that just, oh man, like for example, and 10% of the human brain is unmapped is what the movie says
in the beginning. Oh yeah.
So it's like, basically they find out that it's good and evil, and it's like,
depending on how
we don't know
right?
what that 10% is, but the fact that they threw that little in, it's like, oh, that's true, so maybe that is, and it gets you thinking.
They use like real facts to like
almost
sort of,
just good, like just good, or for example, and this kind of goes on to music real quick for one song, but like Sicko Mode.
Okay.
It's 3 songs in one.
Okay.
Right? It goes here, and what's Drake's last line before Travis Scott's line is "Gone on you with the pick and roll." And if you know what a pick and roll is, it's basically when you switch defenders.
Yeah,
and that's fucking smart. Yeah. Like, dude, they switched the song totally. It went like from this to like, what the hell? Like, so that's what I'm saying. Little subtleties in dialogue. That's why dialogue is so important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you haven't seen Hereditary, but basically, I mean, you know how it ends.
No, I have not seen the movie. I don't know how it ends.
Like, there's
I know how it ends. The credits roll.
Basically, they're trying. Yeah, layoff. All kinds of laughter. Laugh.
Anywho,
one word. No, it's just like little subtleties, like where it's like in your face in the beginning of the movie, but because you don't think that's important to the story, and then when it comes back later, you're like, oh,
you're like, that makes sense, kind of like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, man. Fast and Furious is a good series. I like the fantasy to it. It's just now it's starting to get to the point where I can't even forgive that. Like going on the bridge and hooking up to a line and swinging across to the other side of the island. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for the new one.
No.
Oh man, how are you surviving this podcast?
No.
But don't talk about Fluke.
Oh, I cried at that movie. Oh man,
that movie.
Oh, talk about speaking of that, movies that made you cry.
I don't cry, dude.
Shut it. I cried at Fluke.
As soon as I feel a tear go down my cheek, I suck it back in.
She goes like
like SpongeBob, right? like he just sucks it up.
Yeah, I like Fluke. Cried at that one. What's the one? Well, I'm bad with titles. The one with the Howard not Howard.
El Blue Demon.
No. What's the name of that movie? Oh my god, I can't remember. But anyways, there's a bunch of movies.
Well, anyways, see, you tell me not to interrupt you when it's your turn. Can't talk.
No,
spit it out.
I can't remember the title, man.
What's it about? Tell me what's it about. Howard.
No, it's
DuckTales.
DuckTales. Oh, I like DuckTales.
Oh man,
Bambi. Bambi's a good one.
Bambi's a good
Dumbo.
one. Dumbo. I like movies that make me cry, man.
I think I cried at those two.
Dumbo and Pixar movie.
Oh well, yeah, Up. I cried at Up.
Up made me cry, man.
Up made me cry. The beginning, like right from the beginning, right with the couple and then that one's.
You know which one hit me twice? Titanic.
You cried Titanic?
Yeah, think about it. In the beginning, you're sad. Like when you watch it for the first time, as a kid or whatever, when you watch it for the first time, you're focused on the love story. Like, oh, as a kid, I was like, oh, the lovers, like they're not together anymore, and that made me cry. But now, as I grew older, the backstory to shit and like experiencing like just feelings, and you're like, fuck, like when you get to the point, I feel like when you get to the point where you actually understand certain feelings or how people react, that's where you can, you know what I mean? And like, if you've been in love or if you've been like lied to, or like that movie, you're like, it brings you to that, and you're like, oh shit, like, because Titanic, and that's why it hit me hard too. And then on top of that, I was thinking about like, it's like
what did she let go? Just kidding.
No, I mean, I was thinking, man, there are lines that people like. For example, like the Martha line with Batman Superman. I hate that people are like, oh, he stopped killing. He wasn't gonna kill him because he said his mom's name. Like, no, stupid. They both have their moms are named Martha, and when Batman was about to kill him, he says, "Oh, save Martha," because Superman saying save, like, you know, his mom,
right?
But then Batman's like, oh shit, that's my mom's name, and it just it's not just, oh hey, so we had the same. No, it's just like it transported him to like, fuck, like I have a mother too. I was a child. Like, it just totally destroys him. And that's the one time where you see Batman lose character, and that was just so like, whoa. But it's like little lines. I don't know, man. That's just
that's a good scene.
Things that make you cry. Man of Steel.
Yeah. I think Endgame. No, not Endgame. What's the last Avenger movie?
Yeah,
Endgame. Oh yeah, that one.
You've seen it?
Yes, I've seen it. I cried. I fell asleep in a couple of parts, so I have to rewatch it. But
you did?
But yeah, it's because I was late. I always fall asleep watching movies. That's probably why I missed like a lot of details, because I'll probably be watching and I fall asleep. So I got to rewatch a movie like 3 or 4 times. So I'm like, oh, I don't remember that part.
Yeah. Ghost.
Yeah, we said Ghost already, but
but like that it made me cry.
Oh yeah.
I'm proud to say that I cried
on Ghost. I know I've cried with more movies, but I can't think of it. I really can't think. But I think just, you know what? Another thing I think of the movie, at least what I think movies are made for. Mm-hmm. I think movies, in a sense, prepare you for what's to come. Like, there's a lot of movies, like, the little by little they have technology. Like, for instance, Back to the Future. I'm a high believer time traveling. Now, this movie, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of shows to talk about that, but I think when you hear the idea of time traveling, like, sometimes people are like, oh, you're crazy. But it could, I'm a firm believer it happens, that it's real. So I think movies are made for you to, like, if you like that movie, like Back to the Future, and you're like, oh my God, it's such a it's a good movie. Like, what if? Like, to me, I think movies set you up. Like, for instance, like, what's that movie where the monster comes up? It's like in the one, like, Cloverfield. Like, you know what I mean? That's a great movie. And at first I didn't like it, but I started thinking about it, like, the reason why I like it. Because think about it, like, that's exactly how we would react if a monster
would
come up.
It's like, because everyone was like, oh, you know, the camera's too shaky, you can't see anything. I'm like,
it is shaky, you know.
Well, but think about it. If you can barely hold your camera together when you're recording a party, people on Snapchat,
it's true.
So now imagine when you're running for your life, like, there's a big alien
or whatever it is. Because see, the things that you don't even know what it is.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, this movie's well written, and people, except for the acting, it's not too good.
But
some of it.
But you're supposed to not be a good because you're not.
No. But the acting, like, even like, it's like if they're in pain,
ow,
like, they're like, oh, you know, it's like, dude, relax. Like the real pain people don't sound like cool when guys get hurt in the movies. Like, they're like, oh, you know, all tough. In real life, like, ow, you know what I mean? Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, well, anyways, going back, it's like Cloverfield was well written because everything was shaky, because you're not going to have a tripod and film everything. Like, you're running for your life. So
get your right angle. Like, hold up.
Everyone's like, oh, we never got answered, you know, like, we were never answered as to why, you know, where the alien came from. But it's like, it's from the perspective of these people. Mm-hmm. They have right now, we all of us, we all have our fucking guesses and thoughts about, like, this COVID-19. Oh, it's a government thing. It's this and that. But see how we don't have answers? Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying.
Speculations,
Yeah, speculations. There you go. That's a good word, man. But, like, we all can speculate, and that's what Cloverfield too. They don't know what's going on. They're not going to run into, like, here's some soldiers, which they did, but the soldiers didn't say much. But you just hear little, like, talks. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like, what do you want to see? Where it's like they sneak in and it's like you see, look, Corporal, Captain, this thing came from the planet Azuka, you know, and it's like, like, no, like, that's just lazy writing. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing that pisses me off with lazy writing. If you tell the whole story by, like, oh, well, this book here that I'm reading, you know, is saying this, it's like, so you just gave the whole story by being lazy and having your character tell the story.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think movies prepare. Well, going back to my point,
I think talk about that next week. Man.
What do you mean?
Things that prepare us and, like, how they're preparing us, if they're preparing us.
No, I think movies in general prepare you. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, for instance, like you said, if an alien or something were to pop out right now, we would be like, what the heck? We wouldn't be as surprised as, say, you go back in time and say something comes up. People are going to freak out because they never seen something like that. But us, since we've seen, you know, I'm not saying that every movie is real, but there's some things that you're like, oh, it's that, what if? Like, like a monster, I'm telling you, like that Cloverfield movie. Like, if something were to happen, obviously we would be freaked out, but we were like, what the? And we quickly remember, like, oh man, well, this happened and so is such and such. It must be real. Like, you know, we would kind of prepare. You know what? Also, I think technology. I think, like, for instance, this whole thing about, I think it was in, I want to say in Odyssey 2000.
Oh, so the one in space.
Yeah, Odyssey. Exactly, that one. There's so many technology there that nowadays that we have. And when that movie came back in, what, like the 70s, I want to say, 60s, I don't know, whatever it was. But technology back then, like, we didn't even think about that. Now, little by little, technology is coming. But why? We start seeing stuff that in the past come to life nowadays,
well,
you know?
You know what? Last question, because You got to get going.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk all about that. We need to talk about that shit next week.
But
just features, like preparing, like that's scary shit, man. But anyways, so last thing. Last question, quick. What is one movie that motivates you and why?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me see. I think I can't pick one, but I can pick a bit of each movie. For instance, Rocky, Pursuit of Happiness. Movies like that, like I said, you come from nothing and you become something bigger than you ever thought. I think those are the type of movies that, and you might call it fantasy, but I think I like to watch those movies and believe in something. Like Space Jam too, like that's nuts going. You know, it's like the Looney Tunes. They didn't believe they can win, but they did.
And then they got MJ Secret stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, stuff like that.
Well, that's basically a little. Hopefully, you guys can just watch some of the movies that we think are motivating and try to find a motivation, because we all need some motivation right now.
What movie does inspire you?
I can go Rocky, Southpaw, Arnold Schwarzenegger's story. Period. This is one of my man, dude. But anyways, like, just no matter what your hardships is, you can get through it if you really want.
Yeah,
and I said this earlier. You got to feel embarrassed about yourself if you're not trying hard. It doesn't matter if you fail at level 1. What matters is that you tried hard. Now, if you failed level 1 because you just weren't trying, like, dude, be embarrassed with yourself. You could have done better.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have that mentality.
True.
Feel embarrassed if you're not trying hard.
Okay. I like those words. I think, I mean, we all got to be inspired within ourselves, and especially rough times. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you for all the support. Just hearing comments from you guys just, makes us want to do this even more. You know,
don't tell me.
Well, I'm telling you now, here, live on air. I was not live on air, but thank you guys for your support. Keep listening, keep downloading these episodes, and share them if you guys can. Obviously, if you guys like it,
man, all kinds of sharing action, like Thanksgiving.
Stay safe. Hope you guys enjoy these few minutes, and thank you guys. Peace and love to the galaxy. Oh, one last thing. I always end up with a quote. My quote is, "May the force be with you."
Wasn't my quote good?
What was yours?
Feel embarrassed if you're not trying hard.
Oh, that's yours.
That was our quote, man.
No, I left with mine. You said yours, yeah.
Let's go.
Anyways, peace out, guys.
All right, bye, guys.